Tim just said, I'm just here to endure the rants of crazy millennials.
Is that supposed to be you?
Well, he said 2 millennials. So it must be me and Alexander he's referring to.
I thought it was more me and you.
No, it's clearly me and you. It's just Tim as being Tim. Because Tim's not a millennial, so he can laugh at us in our, you know, ethics and morals.
Tim was born in 77.
That's...
Is that right before?
Well, the millennials are usually 80s and later.
Okay.
Like, 77, I would say, is mostly Generation X.
But... Oh, I can't tell you when, or it'll give away his birthday. Never mind.
You can't tell me whose birthday?
No, I can't tell you which month, or it'll give away his birthday, and I don't want to do that online.
Oh. Why? So that internet trolls can't wish him a happy birthday?
I guess we did wish Sir Watts a happy birthday online.
True. And he's probably celebrating his birthday instead of enduring our ranting.
Who, Tim?
No, Sir Watts.
Oh, okay, yeah. Tim, do you care if I give away your birthday?
Look, he's going to post a bunch of terrible jokes on your Facebook page, so,
Yeah, but that's not personal identification information.
That you know of.
Alright, what's your mother's maiden name, social security number, and notebook full of your dad's bad jokes?
So, Tim is saying he's Gen X. Like, that's how he identifies, I suppose.
Yeah. Although...
I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at this.
He spends a lot of time watching YouTube videos.
Watching YouTube doesn't make you not Gen X. It's more about attitudes.
Okay.
I'm not even sure what I'm doing here.
Explain the attitude difference between a millennial and a Gen Xer.
Gen Xers are supposedly more...
They don't want to work for anything?
Well, no, it's not that. It's that they... Pre-Gen X is a baby boomer, Tim. You are not that. Gen X started in 1964. He's saying it's pre-Gen X, which doesn't make any sense. I wish I knew what I was doing with this puzzle. I'm sorry that I don't.
I think you're supposed to line things up.
I know that. I'm sorry. I'm thinking too much about ranting.
Well, doesn't that one go over to the right and then just down?
The problem is we've got this ice crystal here, and Alexander's not here to blast it for us, so we kind of have to work around it this time.
But you can't go over to the right and down?
I can move this out of the way, but the problem is I need to get this one against this wall, like over here. But I can't because these two are both doubles.
I hate doubles. What if you move that one all the way on the down over to the right?
I need to swap these two longer ones, I think. Which I'm not 100% sure how to do that. Oh, actually, no, this might work. Should I move that one up?
There we go. There we go. You figuring it out? You're figuring it out?
This is why I needed a walkthrough.
Now we're getting it. We're getting it, Gold Blimey.
Are we core blimey?
Well, yeah.
Oh, that clears it. Actually, I think we are getting it.
I told you.
Yeah, we got it. This is, I know how to finish it now.
We just had to stop focusing on millennials for a second. Thank goodness Gwydian's gone.
Yeah, millennials can't solve a puzzle like
He was ruining things. Technology. Let's say magic in this game is technology as an equivalent. How dare you bring in things that can easily make a problem easier?
Magic needed to solve
Gotta do it the
No
old
magic needed to solve this. He literally just said it.
See? So it's like if you were stuck there and you were in a hurry, right?
Mm.
And Gwydian had his cell phone, or Alexander, was like, I can look this up, the walkthrough,
Right.
and get the answer right now. No, we didn't do that back in my day. We sat down and figured it out myself. Okay, but we don't need to, and we actually are kind of in a hurry.
Right.
So, You're just
yeah.
not using a tool out of spite.
Right.
It's like saying, back in my day, we didn't have hammers, so I'm gonna pound this nail into a board with my fist. Because that's how we did it. Not that it's a better idea, it's how we did it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know you were raised as a caveman, but things have changed.
Builds character. Tim was confused between Gen X and Gen Y. That's why he said he was pre-Gen X. Because he's pre-Gen Y, which is millennial. So this puzzle is actually kind of interesting. Because you're supposed to slide on the ice and hit those, like, knights. And bounce around on those and do the puzzle that way.
This one might be a little easier with 2 people.
This one's easier if I could have made Alexander do all the physical work. I guess he's not here to order around, so now I have to be responsible.
I wish he was here to order around.
Okay, so we need to get to here, so I gotta reverse engineer this. So we gotta bounce, hit this knight. He's like, his chin is up. I guess he's trying to see where these are going. So we bounce and we hit that knight. So we go here and turn. We hit that knight, it bounces this way, and that knight bounces that way, and then this one turns. Okay, so you see the path we gotta take? So we bounce that way, over right, 2, up 2, to the left 3, and then up to the end. You don't actually have to remember that. I'm mostly saying it so I remember. Just in case you were wondering if you had any responsibility with this puzzle.
Oh,
Okay,
here's one. Here's a good example. Speaking of my dad again. I got into sports and into a lot of running when I was in high school.
Uh-huh.
And I do it all the time. And he's like, we got to get you some salt tablets. Okay?
Okay.
And I'm like, well, here's a problem, Dad. They've discovered, I mean, they used to use salt tablets like in the 60s, 70s, 50s, whenever. And, you know, when my dad was younger. But I'm like, in health class, they taught us they don't use them anymore because they actually dehydrate you more, is what they've discovered through, you know, testing.
They used to use salt tablets?
Yeah, they'd give you a salt tablet when you went and ran because they thought it replaced the saline in your system.
Wow, I've never heard that before. That's pretty old-fashioned.
Yeah, no, it is. And I had recently learned that in health class, the reasons they don't do it anymore was because it makes you more dehydrated.
Gotcha. Well, yeah.
And you have to take more water because you're more thirsty. It's why they have. It's the same reason at bars they have a bowl full of free pretzels because it makes you thirstier. You want to buy more beer, right?
Same reason you don't drink salt water, because it's poison.
Well, it's not sea salt or whatever. You know,
Right.
it's just salt.
Right.
But anyway, I tried to explain, and he's like, "What are these people teaching you in this school?" That's like his reaction to it.
Wow.
I'm like, they're teaching me science. That there's been an advancement in research and experimentation in the last few decades.
This is great.
And he just boggled his mind that, you know, they didn't use salt tablets anymore.
He needs to apologize.
Sure, Gart shouldn't be listening to this. He's just solving puzzles. That's funny. That's, yeah, well, yeah.
Approaching Gart calmly, you might be surprised what you find.
So here's something else that...
Well, since we're talking about fathers and sons, I
Right.
might as well bring it up my father. Ooh, the Sphinx again.
Yeah.
Welcome to
Okay,
the
I've got
Riddle
something to
Room.
say about
This
Graham
is
in a
my
second, so as soon as they're done
favorite
talking.
puzzle. Probably because I helped design it.
Great.
See, now he's starting to get sick of
Hey,
puzzles.
Mr. Fancy
What
Cakes.
am I? I have a head but no arms to flail. I have no legs yet I have a tail.
It has a head and a tail? A coin.
Snake.
Oh, it's a coin. So here's the thing. So the side conversation between Graham and Gwendolyn. Graham obviously knows the problem with Gart. Like because it's clear that Graham, like old Graham, is.
This is a really cool throne room, just to interject.
It is really cool. No, good art design here in the Fortress of Solitude.
That one. Are you sure?
Look, it's an inventory puzzle. Solve the inventory part of it.
You were saying he knew that
So Graham is giving good advice to Gwendolyn about, you know, you may want to talk to Gart more calmly instead of setting the kitchen table on fire.
A phrase I've used so many times with my own nieces and nephews.
You are correct.
What? Seriously?
You know, Carl, you may want to talk
I've got
to Zoe more
another
calmly
riddle
rather
for
than
you.
set the kitchen table on fire.
Proceed.
Here's the second
What
riddle.
am I? Every morning a noggin I shed,
A noggin.
and every evening I regain my head.
So what loses a head in the morning but gains a head at night?
Pimple.
Let's take a look.
Well, I'd love to give you the
Oh, it's
answer,
a pillow.
but
Okay. Anyway, but it's kind of because of Graham that Gart is that way, because he's the one that's treating him like... He's the one that's playing obvious favoritism. So, it's like... I'm trying to think of a good analogy.
Maybe whoever wrote this, whoever the writer was like a Gwendolyn type person growing up and was the
but we're
favorite.
just getting
Maybe.
started.
And so doesn't see it from the
A
other point of
word
view.
back here.
Maybe, but it's clear that the other point of view is there because...
What am
Hold on.
I come in different colors.
Different colors.
I come in different shapes.
Different shapes.
Some parts of me are round, some parts of me are straight.
So you could literally
Our
be
picture
anything.
can be clear, but we love to obfuscate.
Our picture can be clear, but we love to obfuscate.
Still need more time? It's not like your family is waiting.
So
right?
many colors, many shapes, parts are round, parts are straight. Our picture can be clear, but we love to obfuscate.
Hey,
oh, it's a jigsaw puzzle.
Speaking of other things,
Uh-huh.
Grandpa,
it's kind of the
think I'm
argument I
ready for
had
my
with somebody on
first
Facebook
adventure.
about
Of
things.
course.
Okay.
dear.
About how
Not
dumbing
without
down
your
things
father's
for younger
permission,
children.
Of course.
Right.
Look at how beautiful and interesting this game is. You think a
Yes.
child's not going to be wowed by this? And they're like, no, we have to throw in all this stupid humor, because that's what the kids are really there for.
Because the kids can't be like, wow, this is beautiful. They'll be like, popcorn flavored jelly beans. Let's have a staring contest. Oh, by the way, 3 of your guards are dead.
Well, you just think of the old Zelda games that didn't have all the weird garbage in it.
Right.
Like, this was great, you know, when I was a young kid when I started playing those. This is a great adventure game without, you know, that
What am
treated its material with some
I'm
respect.
fit
Yeah.
for a king.
Treat your
and taste
audience with some
very
respect,
sweet.
too.
Exactly.
Thick or thin, served for breakfast. Graham's favorite treat.
Graham's favorite treat, which is clearly pancakes, because he won't shut up about them.
Choco chip.
But there's not actually any pancakes, so you have to be kind of sneaky and do a pan and a cake. I remember this. So it's a little tricky on the puzzle solving. And I will admit, I mean, it's not like these puzzles are terrible. They're just so out of place in a game like this. Like, sliding block puzzles are great if you're playing Zelda or if you're playing some mobile game or like... And I know earlier adventure games had like random action scenes in them too, like a skimmer ride or like a slot machine, I don't know. Or like half of Quest for Glory, but... But the game is nothing but this. Nothing but
You
these
look like you
dorky
could use
puzzles
a
that
hit.
Graham just...
Too bad we shut
He's
down
in
the
love with
tip
for whatever
line.
reason.
Yeah, and this whole time he's never once questioned this Sphinx. Never once been like, something's a little weird here that this summer resort is frozen over, my wife and daughter were kidnapped, you're trying to split me and my son up, and now you're making me solve all these puzzles.
Hey, pause for a second before you move. Just have him standing there.
Uh-huh.
You know, your cape really isn't that illustrious. I don't know why that little peddler keeps ranting about it.
What were you going to say?
It's so funny because I was just about to talk about his cape. Him standing there in the distance with the red cape in this scene, it totally is Superman in the Fortress of Solitude.
It really is. I wonder if that was intentional, maybe. Because we're not that far from the end of the game. But these doors keep opening like it's King's Quest 2.
One final riddle, if you would.
And he's trying to,
What
you know...
am I?
Oh, hold on.
I am higher than the
She does have
shining
pupils.
stars,
Yeah.
and greater than the
Oh,
land
thanks.
or sea. What's the one thing that's worth breaking?
Seriously though, the shape of her
bonds
face
of
is
family?
very Amaya-esque.
Yeah.
Like she looks like she could have been Amaya turned into that.
Turned into that. That's possible.
I'm guessing it was the same character, main character designer.
Please don't
And this
Or
is
at least the same one who designed those two
I'm a
characters.
big
And this
believer
puzzle is
in
actually
praise
kind of
over
clever
fraud.
because they're like, I'm higher than the stars and lower than the sea or whatever. What's the one thing that's worth breaking the bonds of family? And the answer is you don't put anything on the pedestal. Because the answer is
love.
no, the answer is nothing.
Oh, right.
Nothing is worth breaking the bonds of family. And he finally made it to the realm
I
of
have to
the
admit I'm surprised
Purple
you got that
Island or
one
whatever.
right.
Oh, but
You
now I
should
have to
really
stand up. You know
practice
cats
what
don't
that
like
riddle
doing that.
teaches.
Perhaps the
Bull
Sphinx
cats.
was right. I needed to rethink this puzzle of.
So now the Sphinx is trying to help them?
Excellent work, Mr. Majesty. You are a natural.
Wonderful. Someone had removed
right, this is
all
the last
pieces from the board.
Puzzle
I'd
in
have
this
to
part of the
puzzle out the
game,
path.
I think.
Lucky for me, it appeared all the pieces were already set in their proper rotation.
So this one, I mean, whoever made these puzzles, like, it's clearly like, the puzzles aren't bad. It's just the whiplash between these goofy tile puzzles and this serious question mark story. Anyway, so I'm not going to explain.
understand you hate the game. Sheesh, you gotta go on and go on about it.
Whose side are you on anyway?
I'm
no.
just trying to make it fun.
You're just a few steps
Sorry.
away from your family now. I wouldn't expect anything less from the hero of Daventry.
GLaDOS, she is not. Alright, I'm not going to explain how I'm solving this puzzle. Just know that I am.
All ears, Jeffrey. I mean, I'll take your word for it.
Congratulations, Gray.
All right, are you ready for the plot
won
twist?
The labyrinth.
Yay, we won!
You may now claim your prizes.
Not supposed to
inside.
tell there's a plot twist.
Because obviously this Sphinx is very
Surprise! Your
unlovable.
parents are dead.
Rosella!
That's sad.
Berenice!
But maybe they work for the phone company. I forget what she says. Anyway, you know this
Team
is
Sovereign assemble!
Team Sovereign. You know this is a King's Quest game because there's a long, windy staircase you
can
can
come
fall
out
off and
now.
die.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think you can fall off. But in an older King's Quest, you'd be able to.
I'm not a fan of abstract art.
Here's a football or a turd.
Wasn't gonna say anything, but
I'm
looks like a
pretty sure
slug.
I could sculpt that.
Whatever. So here's random frozen gears climbing up this tall tower, or this tall house.
have some tall house morsels on your
Hope I made it
chocolate
in
chip
time.
pancakes.
Rosella! Berenice!
See, and now he's finally
Where
like,
are you?
uh-oh, my family might be dead. Like, he suddenly realized that, oh, now that no more puzzles, my brain has turned back on.
Yeah. Just forgot they existed for a little while.
It's
That's
like-
that's not wrong out of a husband and father, is it?
No, that seems perfectly valid. Tim's saying that Batman, like the animated series, is a good example of not dumbing something down for kids, and I agree with that.
Yeah. Although they did do a lot of things in that series that I think were strictly for adults.
Right.
But
okay,
you know, it was a series aimed at kids, and it was supposed to be well written.
Right. So here's another kind of this plot twist. I'm not mad about. Like, I'm not going to rant about this because it's actually kind of a decent one. But you see who that is?
It's getting
Isn't that the
closer.
Ice Queen from King's Quest,
But
whatever?
the nose
King's Quest
just
5.
isn't Right.
Where she's like, "Yonder lies the crystal cave," like that queen.
Welcome to my
I
gallery.
thought that was the wolf.
That was the wolf, but she was the. But
No, this is
You're
Elsa,
mistaken.
man. We gotta make a lot
My
of
name
Elsa
is
jokes.
Isabella.
Oh yeah, Queen
I'm
Isabella.
not sure I agree.
but it's actually see who
Well,
she
some
sculpted back there.
more That way, so you will address me as such.
It's actually the princess we didn't pick,
And you are.
turned into the
Graham.
Ice Queen.
King Graham, the Wise. Don't you remember?
No. Sorry. It doesn't ring a bell.
But we had an adventure in Tanalorr. You saved me from that quicksand? Oh, the Hobblepots. You remember the Hobblepots,
They look
right?
like potatoes.
I rescued you from that... this... tower?
So this is the tower that the chapter 3 took place in.
Oh yeah, because it froze.
And
Yep.
I recommend dropping the subject immediately.
And so did she, because
My
she, like, her hand got
apologies.
crushed at the end. And it turned
It's
icy.
been a while since I've had a visitor.
That's kind of a cool.
Did
That's
you
a cool
enjoy
twist.
my puzzles?
I like
I
that.
did.
So is she in charge or the Sphinx in charge? We're gonna find that out later.
And the art?
You'll
Where
find out.
did you
soon.
learn to sculpt?
Oh, a friend taught me ages ago.
And it's playing
I
Girl in the Tower,
see.
but it's the sad
And
version.
What brings you to my ice
Because she's the
palace?
girl in the tower.
I was told that if I made it to the
One
center
of
of the
them.
labyrinth, my family would be here waiting for me. Do you know where they
Parts
are?
of this game are good.
The Sphinx must be playing a game with
Her helmet
you.
reminds me of the
I love my
robot
best
Maria,
friend, but she can
or I
be
mean Crown,
quite
not helmet,
silly.
Right.
from
Did
Metropolis.
you think those puzzles were designed to keep people out of this tower? I created this labyrinth to keep people in.
Ooh, that's
I
what
don't
labyrinths
like
are
it when
for.
my friends run away.
Like the classical
I
labyrinth.
had
Dance,
no
magic,
idea you were
dance.
holed
Not
up
that
here.
one.
Oh,
We would have come here sooner.
Oh, it's quite all right.
we would have come here sooner.
It's not quite over yet, Sir Watts, but you have missed most of the ranting. I want you to rewatch this one on Twitch
Where did
and
you take
let me
Rosella
know your
and
opinions,
Valens?
because we've said a lot of things that I'd be curious to know your
familiar.
opinion about.
She's here, you say?
No,
Valenice.
that's not what
Well,
I...
I'm sorry I haven't seen them. You'll have to file a complaint with the Sphinx.
And so,
Choice words. for that
Isabella
Sphinx.
doesn't know
She's back this way, right?
Where are you going? I
um,
told you
that
no
the family's
one ever
here.
leaves, right? Friends, escort our new addition to the carving room.
And now he's suddenly like,
Let me
oh,
go.
this is actually a serious problem.
I demand you release me!
And I'm actually mostly okay with the rest of the game.
Some vacation this turned out to be.